Formula One, and it is about Lewis Hamilton. So, for people who follow Formula One, I know it's not as popular as the sports that I normally talk about, but for people who follow Formula One, you've heard the news already. Months ago, last year, it was announced Lewis Hamilton will leave in Mercedes. He wasn't going to extend his contract, and he did not just leave Mercedes, he joined Ferrari, which is like the arch rival of, this is like the football equivalent of this is like Messi going to Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid, leaving Barcelona. So it was very, very unexpected, sparked a lot of opinions, but now that the dust has kind of settled, Lewis in his new Ferrari colors, the red and yellow, still a surprise for many, and for me who have gotten into seeing him in Mercedes and Mercedes colors for so long. I think obviously Lewis is my favorite Formula One driver, and so basically going into this new season, I think the Australian Grand Prix is the first race of the season in March, and as far as my expectations for Lewis are concerned, Formula One is an interesting sport in the sense that it's not always the best drivers that get to win. It's as much as is the best drivers as well as the team that has the best car or that can make the best car. So in Formula One, every component is very, very necessary. The engineers, the car, the track. Some drivers are more used to certain tracks than others. The driver himself. So there's just so many factors. Even the mental state as well, because driving a Formula One car is nothing like normal driving. These drivers literally lose like 2 kg per every race. That's how intense and crazy it is. So it's a very high stakes, high speed sports. So you have to have a lot of focus basically from 0 to 100. So as far as Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari are concerned, I think that this season Ferrari will go all out. They will try and make the best possible car for Lewis to race in, because they also try and make a point. And I think Lewis is going to retire real soon, because everybody knows he doesn't have much time left. Lewis is like in his late 30s now, so he doesn't have much time left, and I think there's only one thing left for Lewis. Lewis is a 7-time Formula One world champion, and he's arguably the greatest of the sport. He's just tied on 7 world Formula One titles with Michael Schumacher. So that's just the only thing left in Lewis's career, and he hasn't been asked about it before, about whether he would stop until he gets the 8th. He would stop before he gets the 8th title, and he said no, he will keep going. So that's just what he wants to. Everybody knows that's the only thing left, and obviously no other driver has as much as him and Michael Schumacher. So he wants to really just cement it by going for that 8th title, and if he gets it, there shouldn't be any more arguments about who the greatest Formula One driver ever is. But Formula One is also, like I said, an interesting sport. If you look at Red Bull and Max Verstappen now, the Red Bull team, Verstappen has won the last 4 Formula One titles. They're very, very, they're performing really well. And Red Bull have won, I think, at least 2 Constructors' Championship in that last 4 seasons that Verstappen has won. So Red Bull are also very motivated. They'll be looking at, okay, Lewis going to Ferrari, what could possibly happen, but like I said, Formula One, there's so many components, the drivers, the engineers, even the pit stops. So many little things that could make you win or lose on a race day. The kind of track, the weather, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, if it's too cloudy, if it's rainy, when you change tires, the pit stop, your wet tires, your dry tires, how you maneuver the edges, how you block off someone trying to overtake you, so many things. The safety cars, when there's a crash, if there's a safety car that is, telling, once they deploy a safety car and everybody's going at a certain pace, all those things. Sometimes drivers take advantage of those things, so there's a lot of things, but I think I have high expectations of Lewis in Ferrari, because I think both sides, that's Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari now, they are equally motivated. Lewis Hamilton is motivated, like I said, to get that eighth world title, Formula One World Championship title. And Ferrari, they know what they have on their hands. They have a gem on their hands. They have arguably the greatest in the sport on their hands. So they are equally motivated. I think both teams know what they can offer. So, and Ferrari has also been challenging recently in the past few years. So, if they deliver a really good car for Lewis, and Lewis knowing that he doesn't have much time left, I think that this will be the season he ends Max Verstappen's 4-year dominance of the sport. I think this will very well be the season. So Formula One fans, look out for Lewis in Ferrari. I know some of you who are Lewis fans, you've still not gotten used to seeing in Ferrari. Don't worry, you eventually get used to it. It happens to everybody. I myself, I'm a fan of Lewis, but I've not also quite gotten used to seeing him in the red of Ferrari. But eventually you get used to it, and when he starts to win, which I'm sure of, when he starts to win races, you get used to it to make you more used to it. So first race of the season in March, the Australian Grand Prix. From there, we'll see, maybe that will give us an insight, or how Ferrari and Lewis start the season will give us an insight maybe to how the season would go on, or if they would challenge for a title and snatch back from Max Verstappen, the current Formula One world champion. So that's that about expectations for Lewis Hamilton in Ferrari.